Affairs at the Northern University in Flagstaff, Arizona. Professor Begay is recognized nationally and internationally as one of the founders of the widely accepted theory of how Indigenous nations and communities build nations that work, called Indigenous nation building.
It's good to be here. And I'm originally from the Navajo Nation. And I really appreciate the introduction by Michelle and the invitation by the council to be here in your territory. Thank you for the prayer that was done by the elder this morning. And also, those kids were absolutely wonderful. You know, it just made my day.
So we're here today to seek some assistance, have a little bit of humility that we don't have all the answers. And this is a professor, a Harvard professor, an elder, a well sought after individual who's seen a lot of the first success stories, the best success stories in Indian country, Turtle Island, across Canada.
And sometimes our emotions get in the way of us being able to work together and being able to understand our own behaviors and where we're at with ourselves when we respond to certain situations allows us to be accountable and take responsibility for what we're going to offer the community and share with each other. So in our program, we kind of like to teach people to understand that they do have something to offer us to rebuild together and that they are important and they are valuable. And we just kind of we all have different points of views, and that's where we get caught up sometimes because we all have different ways of wanting to get there.
We got to bring our culture back. Yeah, we got to go back to the old ways and teach our people from childhood right to adulthood the old ways.
Houses like Membertou, like Usuyus, like Meadow Lake Tribal Council, like Onion Lake, and many, many others. So they're basically taking the bull by the horns, so to speak, and remaking themselves into stronger nations. As a result, social conditions are improving, economic conditions are improving, and lives are becoming much, much better. They're thinking about the future. They're not thinking about just themselves, they're thinking about the future.
To rebuild, I think that they, like what he was saying about the government overruling us, and I said, there we go. The government's always overruling. Residential school. I went to residential school. I was in there for 4 years. The thing I got out of there, that's the only good thing the government has done, is give us some education. And now the natives can just move ahead. They can move ahead and they can build.
Here's White Mountain Apache tribe. Very, very wealthy in 1980s. They had fee for hunting of elk, $25,000 per kill. They were making in excess of $2 billion for every elk hunt. They had 2 elk hunts. I'm an elk hunter, so I hunted on this White Mountain Apache land. And you know, George Strait would fly in on his Learjet, and then go out hunting, only take the head back, give the meat to the Apache guides. They have a casino there. They also have a ski resort.
What should we do? Number one, I think we should expand our chief and council to 3 to 4 year terms, because you really can't do anything in 2 years. And I think there should be a dual system government. I've said this before, that there should be a municipal aspect that runs like a city corporation, like a mayor and that thing like that. Economic separately, they should be municipal, economic, and chief and council worry about nation-to-nation talks with the government of Canada and the province.
The community as a whole, like coming together, like there's a lot of people, there's more people in here, this should be here. And it's sad that it's not, because this is so important. In 100 years, that's, I guess, I'm 69, I don't think I'll be around it.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to see it become a unified, happy community where we're all involved socially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally together as a team, as a community. I'm glad to see a lot of the culture coming back, but it's sad that a lot of people want culture and they ask for it, but yet when it's there, they don't come.
I really enjoy it because this has always been in the back of my mind. And as growing up, and my dad as a leader, he was a chief years ago, so was my grandpa. And the things they always talked about is what he's saying today, and I always say that. It's you think of your people, not just yourself as a leader. It's all the people, the unborn. My dad always used to say when he was a leader, it's the unborn.
Here's Loudon Tribal Council in Alaska. They're the First Nation-owned corporation chartered under the laws of Alaska. So the story here is that the U.S. military had their base there, and the U.S. military had their base there, and then after the Cold War ended, they just left all their junk there, all the chemicals, all the ammunition, everything there. They left them. Some of them were in the ground, and so Loudon Tribal Council kept on telling the military, take out all your crap, take it out of here, and they wouldn't do it. So Loudon Tribal Council just said, okay, we're just going to do it. So they trained their own people in remediation services, removing asbestos, demolition, military base operation. So they trained them, and they just removed all that stuff. Now they have contracts all over the world because there's military all over the world, and they leave all their crap around there, What's Enoch Cree Nation going to look like 100 years from now? So after we take a break, we're going to talk about that. What is it that you want to see years from now?